I'm Samantha Brown, professional organizer, decluttering specialist, and business coach. I created Pro Organizers Coach podcast to empower you to reach new heights in your business. I am on a mission to build a supportive sisterhood of passionate professional organizers. So, whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting started, this podcast is for you. Hey, friends, welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast and YouTube channel. Today is a special episode. We have our first certified professional organizer who has taken the courses at POC Academy and is now an organizer getting ready to start her business. And so, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, so happy to be here. So happy.
I love it. So first, we're going to kind of do this twofold. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about her experience of working with POC and just kind of how she's gotten from like when she first found Pro Organizers Coach to where she is now. But then we're going to transition into a little bit of coaching because she's at a place right now where she also still works full time. So now she's also trying to start this organizing business. And I know that's a sticky point for a lot of us because our bills need to be paid, and so we have to keep working, but we're also ready to actually start our organizing businesses. And so that's going to kind of be the twofold that we go through today. So yeah, Tatiana, why don't you tell them just a little bit about like who you are, what you're currently doing, the name of your business, and then we'll jump into some other stuff.
So I'm Tatiana Lessa. I'm here in South Florida. I've been working with a company called Thank Goodness Origami Owl. Plus, I help my husband at his office. So, like everybody else, we all doing a lot of things at the same time.
Hmm.
So I always loved organizing. And one day my husband said, "Why don't you do your own business?" Since I was organizing the whole house, friends, things, and the office, everything. So that's why I ended up on your podcast. I was Googling and I said, I need help because I have no idea what I'm doing. I just Google it and I found you because I'm a big podcaster and I went on Spotify. I searched, I saw you, I started listening all your episodes, and I was like, oh my gosh, it looked like it came out of heaven because that's what I was, and totally needed. And the whole thing started that way. I mean, it's hard. We're going to talk about how I kind of like, still try to kind of manage all the business together. But I'm so thankful that I found you. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm thankful you found me too. Because when you first like reached out, you were like, okay, I'm ready. Like I'm doing this. How do I do it? And I'm like, all right, I got you, girl. Like, here we
Mm.
go. And so we started with the Start Your Business course, and you went ahead and got that. And I'd love for you to talk just a little bit about like, do you feel like it had enough content? Do you feel like it walked you through the steps you needed? What are your thoughts on the course?
For me, it was a must, definitely, because while I was doing all the podcasts that you had, I needed more. I needed the step by step, which you were doing it through the episodes. But when you're really serious about, you want to know what to say, what forms to get, what exactly you do when you get someone's house, which is totally different than doing it at your house. You don't know how many
Mhm.
hours you're gonna take. You don't know. I didn't know anything. You totally opened my eyes because the course takes you. You do it so well, not just on the simple steps, but you don't skip any step. And you have on each chapter, it's just like you have the title, we know exactly where to go. If I had to skip, like I had to, because while I was doing your course, I had a client asking me to help to clean up the kitchen. And I just want to mention real quick that you were not just the person behind the podcast or behind the course. I was texting you and you helped me so much throughout that whole thing because I had to jump chapters so I could go to that form and what to do when I get someone's house for the consultation or for the first session. So I was really thankful, not just because your chapters really help us to understand the process,
Mhm.
But also when we really needed, I needed, you were right there for me and all the way. I could send you like pictures of my client's kitchen. You were helping me kind of like, okay, we kind of like intuitively, we know how to start, but when you're someone's house, you start getting nervous, you don't want to waste your
Yeah.
time. So you were like, don't worry, girl, I got you. I sent you pictures. You were helping me. It was a huge, huge help. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, and I love that you say that because that's my goal, right? Like I started the podcast to help people. The podcast has essentially all the information you could need if you wanted to go piece it all together and listen to all of the episodes. But what I love about the course, like you said, is I've made sure it's something that you can take in bite-sized chunks, or you can be like, okay, well, I'm not at this point yet. Let me move on, but I'll come back to this, and so I tried to make it as organized as it can be. But even for you, like, I remember with the kitchen, whenever you called or you sent me a voice memo on Messenger or something, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, okay, this is happening. I don't know what to do. I don't know how many sessions to tell." And I'm like, hold on, just breathe. It's fine," and like we talked it out, and it ended up being like an amazing experience for you. And like your before and afters were great. Like the reel that you created from it, I even posted on my own social media because I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's better than anything I can create. I'm gonna post this out and tell everyone she's one of my members." But like you you jumped straight in, but then there was, like with anything we do when we're new, you don't know what you don't know until you get into the moment, and then you're like, "Uh-oh, now who do I ask?" And that's a huge part for me of, like, why I do, like, the community and the membership, and, like, I don't ever want my members to feel like I'm alone trying to figure this out, ever. And so that's my heart, right? Is because I didn't have anyone there helping me to do anything that I learned. And I always was like, man, if I just had someone I could just ask this one simple question to, or this, talk it out for a couple of things. So that's huge for me, is being a part of the process with you, kind of walking you step by step through the process. And you ended up doing a fantastic job with that kitchen. And then whenever you also got that garage session as well. And the first time you took photos, you sent me the photos and you were like, "This is gonna take like a week." I mean, like, I remember you being like, "This is gonna take forever. I don't even know where to start. Like, what are we gonna do?" And I'm like, "No, no, no." You're like, probably 2 sessions, 3 tops if they wanna go like specific organized, but probably 2 sessions. You're like, "Really? Are you sure?" "Yes, I promise." And you ended up doing it, I think, in 2 sessions, and it looked beautiful. And it just takes having someone around you that, is living this every day and can visually see stuff. And then on the coaching side of it, like, I even have my own coach because there's stuff that I can't see about my own stuff that I need someone else to help me see. And so yeah, so that's what I love about POC in general and the way I've created it. And then you went on to step 2, which was the website stuff. So step 1's to start your organizing business course. Then I have step 2, which is the website course. But what I've done, for anyone that doesn't know, is I took time and I created a template. So it's essentially like a plug and play, but then I did some modules. So if you listen to the modules and you have the template in front of you, you essentially just like go step by step and then your website's created. How do you feel like that course went for you?
Another thing I want to mention is like I know everybody kind of is tight with timing and scheduling. You want to do everything as fast as you can, not bad fast, but like try to resume everything so you're not wasting much of your time. And that's why I thought getting to your course and going straight to the point. And when I got to the point that, because I always wanted to do a website, which I had no idea how to, and I was going to ask someone to do it for me because I mean, we can all figure it out, but it's going to take just triple, 4 times the amount of time. And that's what we usually don't have. So when I saw that you had a template, I was like, oh, that's going to be perfect. You pretty much have exactly what we need. So I get it when you say that when you started, you didn't have someone because I cannot, I don't even know if I would have started if I didn't have you because at one point you kind of, if you don't throw yourself at it, and you don't have someone to really not just push you, but to give you those tips. They're so essentials, like how many sessions and like how are you gonna do it, or even sending the pictures. So anyway, the website was a perfect thing for me because I really wanted to be out there. I wanted to show that I was serious about, and when I wanted to have business cards and the whole 9 yards. So when I actually stopped the course and then I did your website course first. So I did it in chunks.
Mhm.
I just finished your course. So you don't really have to do it in one straight line. You kind of work with your own schedule. I did clients' houses in between and it made me realize timing and not being as nervous because that's what you get when you at someone's house. It's not your house. You don't want to waste their time too. So it's very challenging. So having someone backing you up, it's amazing. So the definitely the website, it was so helpful, not just because I mean it cuts all the time, but because you give the template, it is easy to follow. The template is beautiful. I didn't have to do anything because it's already modern. I mean, I kind of wanted to personalize, so I did personalize here and there, but it does personalize when you only add your own pictures. You don't really have to
Mhm.
change much. I didn't change the colors. I barely changed much. So I
Well,
love it.
and
It looks so professional.
yeah, and what I love about the template I created, because I spent months creating that template because I always put myself in your all's shoes of like, what would someone want, you know? And when I was creating it, like the thing I love about it is as you're going through the modules, you still get to put in the wording. So it sounds like it's coming from you, but it's me telling you, hey, think about this when you're putting in the wording. Like it's me teaching you and talking you through, but it's still your words that you're putting on there. It's still your pictures you're putting on there. And I say that because I'm actually coaching with a girl right now that paid someone else to do her website before she hired me as her coach. And unfortunately, they charged probably 20 times what my website course is. And it happened to be a man that was on the other end creating it, so it felt very boxy, and not that they did a bad job, they're just not an organizer, and they're not female, so they
Yeah.
weren't able to convey it
So
in a
true.
way. Yeah, and so, you know, the point being is that not only is it affordable, but it's also it makes it feel like you, which is what we need your website to feel like. If it feels like someone else, people aren't gonna be able to connect with you in the way that they need to because you're about to be in their home. So they need to feel like it's you seamlessly through
Yeah.
interacting with your stuff online.
And also what I loved it, why I was doing it, I was contacting you. I was text like not all the time, but I was like every time I had some kind of issue, you were right there. I was messaging you. You were able to get in and like, okay, I cannot see this. I cannot see that. It was just perfect. People, when they saw my website after I posted, because right after I did post on my Facebook, people were getting in on my friends. I wanted their opinion. They were so amazed. They said, that looks so professional. And your help was like huge because even when you do the template on add your pictures, I mean, especially in the beginning, after you get used to it, but it's very cool that you are there and the price is so affordable. I mean, I super recommend. Like the hands down is the best thing you can do, not just because financially makes sense, because time
Mhm.
wise too. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and for me, I do everything in the sense of I try to do it as affordable as I possibly can to where it still makes sense that POC is making at least enough to pay for what it needs to pay for. But also, like you said, it's because my passion and my mission truly is to help you all like streamline the process of, okay, I want to become an organizer to let me start working with clients so I can actually start seeing if this is what I want to do, my business is ready, and now I can start helping my people. Because for me, it's not just about helping you all, it's about helping you all help your clients as well. And so that is my thought behind everything that I do. And so I love that, um oh, and one thing I did wanna mention is while we were doing your website, um, and you were working with one of the clients, there is do you volunteer at a place, or what's that place that you
Oh, yes, I have a nonprofit. I don't have a nonprofit, but I volunteer at a nonprofit. Is a friend of mine that lives close by, and I've been with her for years as a volunteer. So I decided to donate part of my sessions to her nonprofit. So I asked you if it was, because I didn't know if we're supposed to do that, if it's okay to add that on the website. And you explained like perfectly that I could just add a picture, their website. So I did add it on each page at the end of the page. So people knew that, part of it will go towards that. There's an amazing nonprofit that helps kids and animals with service animals. I help with food box that I gather and I pick it up and then I put it some places for people that need. So it's just like the whole thing. I mean, if you are a nonprofit or you want to become one and you have someone, a whole community like you and the whole community that I pay for the membership, I think it's totally worth it because you have a whole community of women behind. If you have questions, you do meetings every week. It is something that it is perfect if you are looking to start, maybe in the
Yeah.
future, maybe you find by yourself. But for me, I could like, it's a way to, and things changes. We always have questions. So knowing there's
Mhm.
amazing community behind, it's really, it's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, I love our community, and, the other thing too is the big thing that I love about each person in the community is that we're all not like cookie cutter doing exactly like, "Oh, Samantha does it this way, so let me do it this way." That is not what it is. Each one of us have our own thing that we're passionate about or that we believe in or, yes, we all like do a consultations and, set decluttering sessions and organizing. But when it comes to, like who we partner with or, like the nonprofit that you've done, or when it comes to who our messaging is to, we have a couple people that in the membership that they specialize in like chronic disorganization, another one ADHD, you and your nonprofit stuff. We have a lifestyle organizer now that's, doing coaching with her organizing. Like everybody's their own person figuring out like what lights them up, but it's all still under the umbrella of we are organizers and we're helping people, which is what I love about all of it. Yeah, so I'm so excited. Congrats. I cannot wait for you to get your certification in the mail. I was like making it all pretty and getting it ready and printed so it can be sent to you. So you will have a plaque on the wall that says you are a certified POC organizer, which I'm so excited about. Um Okay, so let's jump in real quick because I definitely want to get into this idea of I work full time. I really want to be an organizer. My business is ready. Now what? So tell me a little bit about what your schedule looks like right now. Because I know you said something about working for your husband, also doing the owl stuff. So what's your typical?
Yeah, I'm a little atypical because I don't have a schedule. I work remote, so that helps a little bit. If you are someone that works full time someplace like 9 to 5, you're probably gonna have to kind of adjust those, have 30 minutes a day to kind of like dedicate your professional organizer business or whatever you do. That's kind of what I do, even though I don't have a schedule. When I go to the office, I do have a schedule. So usually it's from 1 to 6. So I have my morning, but there's a I need to get my hours for the gym and stuff like that. So it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of have to be organized
Mhm.
with your schedule to kind of see, okay, what am I gonna do? Because my other business is also it's custom jewelry, and I do a lot of social media. That's how it works. So I have to be on a computer, on a phone, and kind of the same thing with the professional organization. So I try to hold a couple of hours. a week. So what you can do is like see your schedule, what works for you, and then hold an hour every day. For me, it's usually after I'm done with the gym and house and stuff before I go to the office at 1. So from maybe 11 to 12:30, I say, okay, this is where I'm going to do my professional organization, social media or contact, whatever it is. And then you do that in blocks throughout the week. Same thing with my other business, which is the custom jewelry wear and the clean beauty that also has to be social media. So one day it's one day is another, and then the office work, I know already that's one from 1 to 6. So for me, that's how it works. I try not to be on my phone. That's one of my challenges because if I'll don't pay attention, I'll be on my phone the whole time, and I really don't want to do that, or I will be divorced, I guess.
Right.
Because that's something that I guess every family struggle with. If your kids, my kids are not home anymore, but if you have small kids, you don't want to set an example. You don't want to be on your phone the full time. So that's one thing that I try at least during dinner, at night. I'm not going to be on my phone, and maybe after 8. And then I know I kind of like, I have a tough schedule. I like to be healthy and go to bed early. So I don't like to stay up too long and late at night. So I try, okay, maybe from 8 to 10, if I didn't work in the morning, I can set these 2 hours to have videos or to contact or to create whatever it is that I need to do. So this is kind of how I manage
Okay.
my time.
So my question though is if I were to call you and be like, "All right, I need a session." Do how many days? Because you were saying, you go into the office. Do you go into the office every day? Is it kinda hit or miss the day? Because I know you also go to, like, fairs and stuff to set up the booths. Obviously, during that time, like, you're not in town, so it's not like you're actually like, you're there all day long. But on a typical week that you're not doing that, do you have, like, chunks of time where you can pop sessions in?
Yes, for my time, I could do that because even with the time that I go to the office, I don't go every day. I can reschedule. So this is a plus that I have that I don't really have to be there at certain days. I can jump days. Depends on the sessions, and then we'll talk with the client. If I have a show, then I can do anything, but I just talk to them and then we organize what day it is. Since usually the sessions, as I was kind of following your guidance,
Mhm.
it's like the first consultation, and then we're probably gonna set up a few days later. And then it depends on the client. So you really have
Mhm.
to, I cannot really plan in advance because some people want it right away, 3 days in a row, or some people would like to do once every week. Like you said, some people don't have the budget, they do every once a month. So it depends on how the client will work. And then I can adjust my time if I don't have, I can do it during the week or I can do a weekend. I try to not do a weekend because I save my husband at least the Sunday because plus the events, if I do everything on the weekend, we wouldn't have, a
Yeah,
weekend. So
time. Yeah.
yeah, it's nice because that's another thing that I love about this business. You can adjust depending on your, schedule. If you work full time during the day, during the week, you can do
Do
that
it on
with
the
blacks
weekend.
in the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that I wanted to make sure to mention to you too. So a lot of my clients, when we do the consultation, I will tell them that for me, what works is either a 9 to 12 or a 10 to 1. And if it were me and I were you, I'd just say my sessions are from 9 to 1 or 9 to 12, whatever, if you're doing 3 or 4, whatever. But I think a lot of us feel like we can't tell them what our schedule is. Like, oh, well, maybe what if they can't do that? Or what if they can't, well, then either they're not the right client for you and you could find them someone else, which I've done before. But most people will accommodate. If they're at a place where they're ready to get it done, they will take off work. They will do whatever they need to do to get that done if that's your availability. And so when you go into consultations, if you can at least just say, I do sessions on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like, I'm just making this up, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 12, those are my session times, or 9 to 1, whatever, or even 8 to 12, whatever you wanna call it. Um, and I'm booked out a little bit right now, but let me grab my calendar and I can tell you, what days I do have available over the next few weeks or whatever. Which day works best for you. And sometimes I do have to accommodate a little bit. Like I normally don't work Sundays, but because here recently, every client that's called has wanted weekends. So all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'm just in a little season of like doing weekend sessions, and then I'll go back because it does this probably 2 to 3 times a year for maybe like a month or two, and then it goes back away, if that. But with you having the other jobs you have, like it's okay to say no or to say like, no, I'm sorry, I actually don't work. Like putting boundaries around when your sessions are, what times your sessions are, and it either works for them or it doesn't.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely don't like to be wide open and I want to put like options. I read actually, usually that's how I work because I like to give them 2 or 3 options because I don't want to leave it like, okay, whatever you want. And another
Mhm.
thing is I don't really, I mean, I can extend from one. Usually my time is when I did the garage and the kitchen and other things, it was from 12 to 5 or 12 to 4 because it was easy for me to keep working in the morning and then at night I don't like to work at night. We get tired, I get tired, and the
Me
client's
too.
tired. So for me, night is a no. Unless there's no way and we have to. But I noticed that as we're getting to the 5 o'clock, we start getting very tired and the client gets tired and then we ended up not doing much. So definitely for me, and that's the fun part. You kind of figure it out when you do it. What's the best time for each person? Because we are all so different. Some people are really in the morning phase. Yeah, to me, it's always between 12 and 5. That's when I work the best because I already had the morning for myself that I could work. I could do whatever I need at home and then go for the client. So that's the beauty of it that you always open for us when you talk about on your courses is like all those tips that you give towards the timing and the sessions and how everyone is so different and you can personalize your own business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And just making sure that you think about yourself first, right? Like, yes, every now and then we have to kind of give a little, but I think a lot of us think, especially when we're kind of at the beginning, we're like, oh, I need every client that comes along and like I better bend my boundaries and you've been a business owner before, so you know all about boundaries, but a lot of people don't understand boundaries when they first get started in business. Having boundaries is the biggest part of your business actually succeeding because then you are healthy, then you have your boundaries, then you're not a basket case. So you are better for your clients. And I think a lot of people almost think it's backwards, like, oh, because I know I did. I used to be like, oh, I need to accommodate them, whatever they want, whenever they want it. That never worked out for me. I was the one that ended up, either like crying or stressed out or whatever. And they were just, and those are always the clients that I'm like, "Why did I work with that client?" Like, not all
And I
clients are
feel that
good clients.
if you don't appreciate yourself and your time, you value that, they won't value your time and they will step on you. This is goes with life in general. And I work with sales my whole life. And I mean, customer service first, but as you said, there's boundaries that you have to put in. It's good, it's healthy for you and it's healthy for your customer and client. So that's for
Ye
sure.
Yeah, and what's that saying? We treat others how to treat us. I think
Something
that's
like that.
huge. Yeah, yeah, like, we treat them we or teach them, I'm sorry, not treat them, we teach them how to treat us. It's been a
Yeah.
long day. But yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, so this has been so good. I cannot wait to see the photos of you or like in your office, maybe like your plaque up, whatever it is. But thank you so much truly for, taking the courses and letting me help you and being a part of the membership and all the stuff and then coming on the podcast today. Like I really do appreciate you and I'm so proud of all the work you've done. Literally, you obviously are doing amazing just in the sense that you posted on your social media, I'm going on the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. Within like 15 minutes, there's like 40 people commenting, being like, oh, that's amazing, blah, blah, blah. like, you have got a huge following of people that are following what you do. So that is fantastic. And
And
I
one thing real quick, I mean, I don't want to cut
yeah.
you off,
No,
but
please.
one thing that I learned with you too, and being in a business with social media stuff, because it's sales and anything in life that you do now with social media stuff, I know it can be draining and it can be a lot. That's why I always say you have to kind of like organize your time, especially for social media, because it can be so draining. So one thing that you mentioned is like you be genuine when you are posting. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I have to post, but it's like when you're doing kind of having your mind that when you're doing something, it's like, oh, let me just post this real quick because it's going through. It's not that I plan to do that, but when I saw your post, you sent me like a reminder. It's like, oh, I should just post this. So when it makes it genuine and super fast, you don't have like, don't overthink or where you're gonna put it. My verbiage was super simple. I
Mhm.
think I just said something like I'm a little nervous or something, but it was just like it makes social media more fun. So that was another tip that you gave that I would like to kind of mention here because it helps a lot. It can be overwhelming if you start being stuck on something, especially social media, because you start with your business, with your website, with your business cards, with everything that you need to do, the Google that you helped me with.
Mhm.
And then you say, okay, I need to do it everything perfectly because I need to create an account on Instagram, on Facebook. Like you say, don't overthink. Just do one thing at a time and then be yourself because it will work out. Just don't overwhelm you because
Yeah.
then our mind that makes us crazy.
Yes,
Don't have to.
and I heard this said the other day, and I thought it was beautiful. It's not like the reason social media becomes so stressful is because we think we're creating content when really, if we look at it as documenting our lives, like what we're actually doing and going through exactly what you just said, when you have that mindset shift of, oh, I'm just documenting the life I'm living versus I have to create content 'cause it's when you get in that mindset of I have to create content, that's when it goes all to crap, is when you
Yeah,
go down
because you
that
always
rabbit
think you
trail.
you need to be perfect. You're always thinking about, and then it comes with the influencers, and we're not here for that. It's just
Nope.
it's a service. We are providing a service. You're showing what you have. You give tips. Don't overthink. That's the best tip I can say. Don't overthink. We don't have to be perfect. People who wants to see that will see anyway. Don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about the views. Just go with your heart because it will work out.
It really will, and exactly what you said, taking it one step at a time and just trusting that what's for you will come to you, and just enjoy the journey. Like, we're all so worried about getting to that destination where it's the day-to-day journey stuff that, like, is what we should be enjoying, right? Kinda like you said, going to the gym, the things that you love, like, making sure that we're enjoying our life, because if not, we're gonna blink, and like me, here in a couple weeks, I'm turning 40, and I'm like, "Wait, I'm turning what?" But it's the best time of my life that I've had my whole life because I had my kids in my early 20s. So, it's just a different season, but learning to be like, "Hey, I don't have to be so stressed. It's okay. It will work itself out. Let me enjoy the journey."
Exactly. I totally agree.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being on the show. And then for those of you listening, we will catch you in the next episode. And if you're interested in anything that she talked about, all of the links will be in the show notes below. Thank you guys. Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you.